Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. So in 2004, I was a photographer working for one of the biggest newspapers in the world. I was given an assignment as part of a crime feature to photograph one of the city's most dangerous guys. This is Shooting the Mob series. Hope you enjoy. Cheers.
This is the story of Brian Anderson, a tabloid press photographer working in Glasgow during one of the most chaotic periods in British crime journalism. He was on the front lines of the Red Top Mayhem, a daily world of blood-soaked headlines, underworld whispers, and editorial meetings that seemed more like crime fiction brainstorming sessions than newsroom planning. One day, the editors pitched a new idea, a full feature on Gary Moore. Anderson froze. Gary Moore wasn't just a name. He was a legend of violence. A man once described by Sheriff Gimblett as a violent, incurable psychopath. A man feared even among criminals. Moore had made headlines in 1994 for the brutal killing of James Boyle Jr., the son of infamous gangster Jimmy Boyle. The weapon, a potato peeler. Boyle Jr. had been helping raise Moore's child while Moore was in prison for stabbing his girlfriend. When Moore was released on a weekend pass, he walked into a flat in Oatlands, saw them together, and responded with sudden, ferocious violence. James Boyle Jr. never left the flat. Moore was convicted, not of murder, but of culpable homicide. It was far from his first brush with the law. In 1992, he was a suspect in the murder of Diane McKinley. Charges were dropped, but suspicion lingered. In 1983, he stood accused of torching a house during the notorious Glasgow ice cream wars, an act that killed 6 members of the Doyle family. He stood trial. He walked free. Now, the paper's veteran crime reporter David Leslie was writing a major profile. Title: Gangster. The editors had one job for Anderson: photograph Gary Moore. What could possibly go wrong?
So, I arrive at Gary Moore's flat in Govanhill. Doors open, I swear to God. The smell nearly knocked me out. Cigarettes, sweet cheap vodka, stale chaos. It was like walking into a pub after closing time after a riot. And Gary Moore, the guy himself, he was lying unconscious on the couch. Empty bottles everywhere. Eventually he comes to. Cold, sunken eyes. He just stares at me. I'm thinking, brilliant. This is the guy I'm supposed to photograph for a full spread. But we did speak, weirdly calm, and agreed to meet the very next day for the actual photo shoot. So the next day arrives, same scene, he's out cold. Then he eventually wakes up like it's no big deal. Only this time he decides to take me on a tour. First stop, the exact spot in the Gorbals where he killed James Boyle Jr. I'm no kidding. He just points it out like he's taking me on a murder tour. Then we head up to Black Hill, near Ridley Cemetery, and this is where it gets mental. He tells me 2 hitmen from London tried to shoot him there. He says he jumped over a wall, he cracked his nut on a gravestone, and then when he came to, he brushed the moss off his suit. He saw his own name on the grave, like some pure Grim Reaper meets Ramsay Nisbet stuff. At that point I'm thinking, this guy doesn't feel guilt. He's not haunted, he's proud of it. This is a performance. A performance of violence. A couple of days later we're doing a photo shoot down at the Clyde. I brought some prop guns, fake stuff, just to get that old gangster look, bit of a cinematic flair you could say. Then Gary, what does he do? He pulls out a real gun, waves it in the air shouting, top of the world, ma, like he's in some bloody Jimmy Cagney movie. I thought, this is it. This is where I die, at the hands of a psycho doing a 1940s gangster impression. You can't make this stuff up, honestly. Now here's where it gets truly ridiculous. The paper wants a shot of Gary with a bullet in his mouth, front page stuff. I tell him, meet me at Queen Street studio, just get a taxi, Gary. 1 hour later, no sign of Gary. I call him again, and he goes, aye, I'm waiting on you. Long story short, I end up picking him up. He walks into the studio holding a fish supper in one hand and a bottle of Iron Brew in the other, and tucked inside his jacket was a real Magnum. I know the ice cream type, an actual loaded revolver. So we get him in front of the camera. He's cooperative at first. I get the bullet in the mouth shot, nailed it. Then something flips. He pulls out a knife, started shouting gang slogans, and then the gun comes back out, waving it, screaming it, totally unhinged, like a total lunatic. The lights crash, people are shouting, photo editor screams, get the gun. I shout back, you get the gun. What followed was less of a photo shoot and more of a full-on wrestling match with a loaded firearm in a studio. Eventually we get the gun off him somehow, and that was the last time I ever saw Gary Moore. Or maybe it wasn't. But that's a story for another day, folks. Hope you enjoyed.